welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. If you are new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. Thanks so much for all of your support. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my weekly WiP and chat. And if you are not familiar with what that is, a WiP is a work in progress, and I'm going to be working on this one, which is from Dreamer Designs, and it is called Autumn Sun. I've had this in my work in progress for a while, well, since October, and I've been working on it off and on. I'm hoping to get this finished by the end of the month. That is kind of an aggressive goal, but we'll see if I can get it done. I hope that I can. If not, then it will just carry over into January, which is no big deal. If you have something that you would like to work on, feel free to get that, whatever that may be, whether it is a diamond painting, whether it's cross stitch, if you want to make cards, you know, whatever that this looks like for you, or if you just want to listen to this as you would a podcast, that is fine, whatever works for you. So today I am going to be going over, like I always do, some life updates first, tell you what's been going on in my life and my family's, and then go over some diamond painting, what's going on with me in diamond painting, and then what I have going on for the week. So to start with, I would like to know how everyone is doing, and what are you working on? Are you working on a diamond painting? Are you waiting until the first of the year? I know that a lot of people don't like to have a work in progress going into a new year. They want to start, you know, completely fresh. And for me, I don't mind. If I have a work in progress that carries over, that is fine with me. And I definitely will have, I know, one for sure, and then more than likely I'm not going to get Diana finished. So that will be going into the new year as well. But I'll talk about that whenever I get to diamond painting. But I know that some are just going to sit and wait until the first and to be able to start a new diamond painting. But if I didn't have anything to work on, I would go ahead and start on something else because I don't want to wait that long. I love to diamond paint, and I would hate to miss out on some extra time that I have right now to diamond paint. But luckily, I do have plenty that I can work on and try to get finished. So what's been going on around here? Quite a bit because of the holiday. We did go to the mountains, and I do have a small video on that. That is during the playlist of the 25 days leading up to Christmas, countdown to Christmas. And I did post a few pictures of us in the mountains. We all looked pretty rough because, well, we were on vacation. We were in the mountains. It was really cold. And the day that we decided to take photos was a very windy day. So our hair was going everywhere. My daughter was smart. She wore a hat. I don't like wearing hats because my hair gets really staticky, and my hair looked really crazy. It looked like it was more gray than it is a blonde and brown mix. But anyway, I went ahead and posted them. We had a great time. So you can check that out if you would like. And I did other videos for that, particular week, the entire month actually, and included some information there. But we had a really, really good time, and we really needed it. We love going to the mountains. We love the fresh air, just everything about the mountains we just really enjoy as a family. So that took up, quite a bit, well, 4 to 5 days. And then when we got home, we had, start preparing for Christmas and deciding what we were going to do, food wise. And so we took care of all of that. And then I had to wrap, presents for my kids, and had to mail my oldest daughter's, who is now in South Dakota. And Christmas was really nice. I mean, we did have, nice time together, but really missed my oldest daughter. It was hard not having her. This was only the second Christmas in her entire life that I was not a part of it. And even the first time they were at their dad's for one Christmas, but she was with me for Christmas Eve, so I still, saw both of them. But this time, I have not seen her since Thanksgiving. And I only saw her at Thanksgiving because she came over to tell us bye whenever they were moving, and to get a couple of things that we had at our house that we were giving her to take with her. So that's been, really hard to deal with Christmas and not her here. So, it was a bittersweet time. I know that, she is doing well, and she is, fighting the bitter cold that they're having in South Dakota, but she's doing okay. So we made it. But let's go back before Christmas, and let's see, what did we do? The last time that I had spoken with you guys was on last Monday. So on Tuesday, we did go and get a manicure, just a manicure. We didn't do anything else. And then that was my daughter and I. We also went to the grocery store. I wanted to go ahead and get it over with and get what we needed and not have to go back. So we did that, and we did that on Wednesday. And even on Wednesday, it was so crowded at the store. I was just really surprised. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have been, but I figured that on Wednesday, I went fairly early in the morning, and it wouldn't be so bad. But of course it was. And then we decided that we would just pick something up for dinner on Wednesday. Usually on Wednesdays, we will get something for dinner, something easy. But my daughter loves to go to Longhorn, which is I think it's a steak restaurant, but it's a chain. And so we think it's okay. We think their steaks are okay, but she loves their firecracker chicken wraps. And I'm surprised because she doesn't really like anything spicy, and these do have a kick to them, but she absolutely loves these, and they're appetizers. So we told her when we were in the mountains, because she wanted to eat at a Longhorn there, and we told her we didn't want to eat there because we wanted someplace that we couldn't get at home, and that we would take her when we got back to get some firecracker chicken wraps. So we decided that we would go ahead, and we did that for dinner on Wednesday. And usually we don't do something that expensive, during the week. But decided we would go ahead and we would do that. And I told my husband that I had to pick up a prescription at Kroger, which normally my prescriptions go to a CVS pharmacy, but they sent it to an older location that I hadn't used in a while, and I needed my prescription. So I told him I will go and get my prescription, and then I will just pick up dinner and I'll bring it home. Well, I went to Kroger, and I had to wait 35 minutes in line for my prescription because they only have one person at the register, and they only have two people in the back. One is a pharmacist and one is like a pharmacist assistant, and that's it. And they're trying to fill prescriptions, and they're trying to do everything else that they have to do. They just do not want to hire anybody, and they haven't since the pandemic. They don't want more than 2 or 3 people in the back, even though it's a large space. I think now that is just an excuse not to have to hire any, additional workers, employees, but it just takes them forever, and they're super nice. It's not their fault that it takes so long because they can only do so much. So I waited in line for 35 minutes to finally get my prescription, and I did that, and then I went and I ordered dinner, and so then they said it was going to be 30 minutes on dinner. So I finally went and got our dinner, and then it took me forever to get it and then to get home. So I was like really frustrated by the time that I got home, because I had just, it was just so frustrating to deal with all the people, even though I didn't even get out of the car for Longhorn, but I had to sit there forever at Kroger. So when I got home, I was just, ready to just eat and just relax. And so that's basically what I did. My husband was off on Thursday and Friday, so he built us a really nice fire. We're really getting into using our fireplace this year. Trying to decide what color I want to do next. Let's see, let me change colors, and then I will get, here we go, I'll just go with this one. So he decided to build us a fire, which was super nice and warm, and it's just, so relaxing, and it's just, for me, it just helps relieve the stress of the day. So we did that, and then just kind of watched a little bit of TV, and I diamond painted while we were watching TV, so that was nice. And my daughter decided she didn't want to watch a movie with us, so she was upstairs playing a game. And then on Thursday, since he was off all day, we were going to do some things around the house, and then decided not to, because we had to get out and go and get some supplies that we needed to use. And so we decided we're just going to wait until after Christmas, and we will start working on some of that inside, because we already had so much stuff out, with all the Christmas decorations and everything, and the house was kind of in a mess because we had to move everything around to put out the Christmas decorations. So we ended up talking about working in the yard, because we have a terrible time with leaves. And we've been working on them since really September, and we need to go ahead and work on getting the leaves, raked up and getting them to the dump, because now all the leaves have fallen, we're able to do that. But it was so cold, and my husband loves to work out in the yard in the winter. That's his preferred time to get the yard, really cleaned up, even though he does it in the summer too, but he really enjoys working in the yard in the winter because he just likes it cooler. But even it was too cold for him, even bundling up and wearing his uniform, or not uniform, but a suit that he wears at work sometimes. They're kind of like coveralls, but they are insulated. And so he decided not to do that. So we just kind of hung out around the house, and I pretty much, straightened up the house some, and then I diamond painted. I'm working on getting my craft room better organized, the way that's going to work better for me. I'm always changing how I want my craft room to look. So I was working on that, and started working on getting my diamond paintings organized the way that I can see them better. And then I got most of those done. I need to work on that some more. It's just so cold in our basement, and you may hear a slight roaring in the background. I should have already mentioned that, but our furnace is in our basement, and my craft room is in my basement. So I have tried everything that I can possibly do to get it to where it doesn't sound so loud when the heat comes on, but it's just not working. I've tried editing it, and it is, unfortunately, it is what it is until it gets warmer. I don't hear anything in the summer or the spring, but it's just from the furnace for our heat. And right now it's just so cold that there's nothing, I can do. I even have a small heater next to me, almost on top of me, and I am still really cold in our basement. So, and our basement's heated, like I said, but it's just, it doesn't heat as well because, it's a basement. So we're hoping to do something next year for that. So it won't be as bad. So I'm sorry if you'll just ignore that roaring. Hopefully you don't hear it as much. I've tried to close the door where the furnace is to see if that helps. But, you know, we'll see. So that's what you probably hear in the background. I was hoping that it would shut off for just a short time, and it has not. It comes on, and then it goes back on just really quickly. So on and off just constantly, because it is absolutely freezing here in Georgia. We had 18-degree weather this week, or last week. We never ever have that. So it has been really rough. And my husband doesn't mind it as much, but I don't like being cold. I cannot get warm. I don't know if it's like medicine that I'm taking that causes that or what, but you know, nothing's wrong with me. I'm not sick or anything. It's just I am always cold. And I've been wearing a hoodie going to bed. My husband's like, you just ought to go get you some thermals and just wear thermals to bed. You'd be better off than wearing a hoodie. So I did order some thermals from Target, and hopefully those will be in, I think they'll be in on Thursday of this week. I also ordered some Elizabeth Ward containers for when I ordered my thermals, and the Elizabeth Ward containers are on sale at Target. So I ordered those. So I'm looking forward to my thermals to come in, but I'm really looking forward to more Elizabeth Ward containers, because I love those. Those are my absolute favorite, but they are, you know, pricey. They can be, depending on how many that you need. So hopefully I will start getting warmer, because I will have thermals. I only bought one pair. I want to see if I like them, and then if I do, then I'll buy me a couple more pair and wear those under my clothes. Let's see, what else has happened? That's all leading up to Christmas. And then over the weekend, I did a lot of diamond painting. I mean, I'm off work until the 3rd, and then I can work from home. So that's going to be really nice until we start back on the semester, which starts back the week of the 9th. So I've got to start working on that next week to make sure everything is prepared. I have all my lesson plans done. And I did all of that before we took our break. So that is going to be nice, because I don't have as much to do. And so I am really spending most of my time. I'm doing some things around the house that need to be done, but I've done a lot of diamond painting. So that's really all that's been going on. Then let's see, on Christmas Eve, my best friend wanted to go to her church. She lives about an hour and 15 minutes away from us, but her church is also 30 minutes further out from her house. And so she didn't want to go by herself. Her husband really didn't want to go to the one service that they were talking about, because it was, you know, mostly for families. It was really loud. And so I invited her to go to our church. And we go to a non-denominational church. I need to put some more wax in here. Oh, I forgot to mention, I am using from an Abler's Outpost. I just love this. It's called Chit, C-H-I-T. It is Romanian for putty. And this one is marshmallow, and it smells so good. I have it open just so I can smell it. And I'm getting to where I am using more and more of putty in my single placer as well as in multi. So I do have some favorites, and this is one of them. Okay, I think that's good. Let's see, now I forgot I'm on number 1. Okay. So we invited her, and we did it early enough. We had like 6 services between the day before Christmas Eve and then Christmas Eve. And so we decided to go to an earlier service, which was late afternoon. So that way, when the service was over, she would have plenty of time to get home before it got dark, because she's gotten to be like me. I don't like driving at night, and I never have. It has nothing to do with age or anything. I just never have liked to drive at night, especially on the highway. The lights just blind me. And so she's the same way. And we wanted to make sure that when we went in a time where she wouldn't have to worry, she had plenty of time to get home. And so she came over early on Christmas Eve, and we had lunch at my house, and then we just talked, and we got caught up on things. She goes shopping, and if she sees something that she really likes, it is craft related to card making, and she knows that I don't have it. If I don't have it, she doesn't have it, basically. And she will buy whatever she buys for her, she will get for me. And she always finds really good items on clearance at her Hobby Lobby. Our Hobby Lobby really doesn't have that good of a clearance, and she's looking for stamps and die cuts that we can use for our cards. And so she brought me quite a bit of things. And then she did order us some stamps for our church cards. She found this place that had some really good faith stamps. And I do church cards. She does too. I am the lead of our small group for our church for card making. And I really enjoyed that because I was making cards, but I had nothing to do with them. My family can only handle getting so many cards. And my cards are very plain. I mean, they're nice looking, but they're very easy. They're not interactive. They don't take hours to do, but they're really pretty. And so she knows, what I like. I like basically what she does. So I got to see all of those things that, she brought with her. So we talked about that. And then I showed her what I was working on diamond painting wise. She is not a diamond painter. She doesn't think that she would enjoy just sitting and diamond painting. I'm trying to talk her into it and, tell her that, I know if I enjoy it, you probably will too. And, just try it. But she doesn't want to really get into any more crafting because she does other crafts, and, there's only so many crafts you can do. But maybe someday I will talk her into diamond painting. Maybe she will realize that she will enjoy it. And I think she would. Smaller ones. I don't think she would like the really large ones that I often do, but the smaller ones, I think she would be okay with it. So that was really nice. The service was really good. Even my daughter enjoyed it. It was a lot of, Christmas music, and since it's non-denominational, it is, it's not like a lot of your Christmas, like Christian music. They did, a couple, but it was just a lot of songs too that the kids knew. So that was really cool. They had sing-alongs, and then we had the candlelight service. We always do at the end. That's one of the church traditions. And that's why I go to not the only reason, but one of the main reasons why I go to the Christmas Eve service is because I just love the candlelight service. That is just my favorite. And then we light all of our candles, and we actually will hold the candles up. The church is dark, and it is just gorgeous. I mean, it is just, to me, it is just everything. It's breathtaking. It's just all kinds of emotions. The year just comes back to me in a flash. And I told her that what to expect on the church, and so she felt the same thing. She said that it was just very, at the end, just the candlelight service, the emotions, and that just really brings everything into perspective for the holiday season for me, and it just gets me ready for Christmas Day. So after we finished church, we went to Starbucks and we got coffee and took that back to my house. My husband drove, so we didn't have to worry about driving, which was nice because there were a lot of people out Christmas Eve. I was really surprised, and our church is rather large, so it was nice. I didn't have to worry about finding a parking space and having to worry about getting out of the parking lot, which we had police officers that direct us, but it was just nice that, he drove and all of us, and she rode with us. And we had our pictures taken at church. All of us, including my friend Cindy, was with us. So that was a lot of fun. And then we came home and she stayed for about an hour and then she left. And we just settled down, watched a couple of Christmas movies, and then we did watch another movie that had absolutely nothing to do with Christmas, but we just, cuddled up on the couch, my daughter and I, and my husband built another fire, so that was, really nice, and we just had a really nice family time. So that was, really important. We really do need that, especially with Maddie not being with us. And then my daughter wanted to open one present for Christmas Eve, and that's been our tradition ever since the kids, were little. And we decided that they could open one present. They could choose what present that they wanted, and if it ended up being clothes or whatever, then it didn't matter. Whatever they opened, then that was their, Christmas Eve gift. So, good grief, I really missed that line. So she opened the one gift, and then she started well, I wish I could go ahead and open my other ones. And I was doing something and in the kitchen, I think. And so my husband's like, well, go ahead and open all of them. If you go ahead and open them, then you can sleep in tomorrow and we're done with the gifts and you don't have to, we don't have to worry about that tomorrow. And so Paige said, well, I can't. That's not part of our tradition. And so my husband's like, it doesn't matter. If you want to open it, go ahead. Well, she went ahead and she asked me, and I told her, I said, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you want to do that, you're not going to have anything to open except for your stocking on Christmas Day. And she was okay with that. Well, I went ahead and let her. She opened her gifts, and then I told her after Christmas Day, I'm like, we're not doing this again. I did not... it was fine, I thought it was going to be okay, but it was kind of disappointing on Christmas Day because, she had nothing to open. She was fine with it, but it just didn't feel like Christmas because, she didn't sit where she normally does and open all of her gifts, which, kind of silly. She's 21, but that's just, how I felt. I'm like, we're not going to do this. Next year we're going to go back to our tradition. And so she kind of agreed. And then her dad came over and he dropped off her gifts. I told him he could, was welcome to come in, him and his wife, and so she could open up, her gifts. But they had been sick with the, what, and it's been 3 weeks, so they're not contagious anymore. But he still had a slight cough, and he did not want to get close to her just in case. He wore a mask. He stayed, well over 6 feet away from her outside. And so he just gave her presents to her. And then he left. And I recorded her opening her gifts that her dad gave her. And then sent him the video. So at least she did have something to open that, was Christmas presents. And then she got her stocking, and I've always done stockings for the kids. I'm mailing my oldest daughter her stocking. When I told her I was going to wait until after Christmas, I was still gathering some things that it was a pre-order, wasn't going to come in until after Christmas, and that I was going to send it to her. So I've got to go to the post office today, and I'm going to mail that to her. And we did talk to her on Christmas, and she was actually baking a ham and doing a couple of other items for them, which I thought was really funny. She's never really been a cook. She was not interested in cooking when she was growing up, when she lived here. I've gotten this one off some. I'm trying to do this a little sideways, and let's see, we have to fix that later. This one over here, I went too far over. Okay, there we go. But she's now learning, and so she called me. She was asking me some questions. She found a couple of recipes, so I'm really curious how that went. And she sent me pictures what she was cooking, so that was really fun. So she had a really good day, and so did her boyfriend. And then I talked to my dad and my stepmother, and my sister. I wasn't able to speak with her because she was busy doing something, and I never got back to talking to her. So I need to call her and have just a nice long conversation of how Christmas went with the family. My cousin did call me. I haven't spoken to her in a long time. We text, but we just usually don't talk. And so she had some free time. She lives with her daughter and her daughter's kids, her grandchildren. And the grandchildren were going over to their dad's, and so she had a little bit of downtime, and she was at their house by herself and decided to call me. So we had a nice little chat. That was really fun. And then I had some other friends to call us, but it was a very quiet day because it was just the three of us. We had breakfast. I made homemade pancakes, but I used my Dash mini waffle maker. And I have one that is for Christmas, and it has a Christmas tree indentation in the middle of the pancakes or waffles. And so we did that for breakfast, and I made some toast, and we also had some bacon. So that was really nice. And then we ended up instead of having lunch, we just had dinner. And so we had a nice quiet dinner, the three of us. And we went ahead and did the same thing we did for Thanksgiving. We just ordered barbecue, and that way I didn't have to cook. We didn't really have any cleanup to do. We just heated up the barbecue, and that was really nice, and it was really good too. But it just feels kind of weird because in the past I've always cooked Thanksgiving and Christmas. I always made large dinner for us and the kids. And the past couple of years, we just decided that we're not going to do that. It was just the three of us, and we're just going to do something that we enjoy, but that's going to be easy for all of us. We can just sit down and relax for the holidays and not have the stress of trying to get all the food done and all the things. So that was really nice. So I hope that all of you that celebrate Christmas, you had a wonderful day with family, or you just were able to relax some. If you do not celebrate Christmas, but whatever holiday that you celebrate, if anything, I hope that you had a really nice time with that. And if you didn't celebrate, that you just had a really nice day. It's always nice just to be able to stop and just relax and just to do whatever you want to do. And that's basically, what we did. And then on Monday, normally I will film on Mondays, but Monday my husband was off from work and we were trying to get some things done, and I just didn't get around to doing it. I can record and do my videos better when there's no one at home, or if my daughter is upstairs in her room doing whatever, and then it's just easier. So I waited until today, Tuesday, to record, which I don't usually do. I like doing it at least a day ahead in case I have any issues. And then I also have to edit. So this will be going out later than it normally does. But, that's okay. I'm sure you guys understand. But yesterday, Monday, we decided, or I guess I decided, my husband agreed, that I wanted our Christmas tree down. We bought a live tree, we always do, but this year was the absolute worst Christmas tree that I have ever had. And this is from when I was a kid up until now. It was the absolute worst Christmas tree experience ever. And my husband even agreed. When we got the tree, and we got it a little bit later, my husband thinks if he gets it later, then we will have it to where it's not going to die, and we'll be able to enjoy the tree longer. And I've tried to tell him that's really not the case, because with the Christmas trees, you need to get them earlier so you can start taking care of them. But we normally go to a Christmas tree lot, the ones that, have the tents, and they just come around Christmas, really around Thanksgiving, and then they have, Christmas trees and wreaths, and they will even wrap it up, put it on your car. There were not any of those lots this year, not anywhere in a 50-mile radius from our house, because we checked. So the one that we normally go to, they weren't there last year either, and decided not to do it anymore in that area because they had to rent the lot that they were using. So we ended up having to buy our Christmas tree from Lowe's, which actually it was Home Depot. We thought about Lowe's. Lowe's did not carry any trees this year. And we have bought a tree from Lowe's before, and it was a nice tree. So we ended up having to go to Home Depot, and we bought a tree there. Well, the tree looked really good when we bought it. So we bought the tree, we took it home, and then that's when 2 days later, it started looking really bad. The tree never did really drink any of the water. We put water in it, we did the aspirins, the whole bit that we normally do for a tree. And it just would not take the water. It just started looking really rough 2 days later. And the branches started drying up really bad. So I took all of my really good ornaments, and not so much as good as, being nice. I mean, they are nice, but all of my older ornaments that I did not want anything to happen to, I took all of those off of the tree and just left ornaments that if they were to fall, more than likely they're not going to break, because they were just, the plastic kind, or the ones that the kids made, when they were little. And so the tree started looking really bad, puny, because of that. Well, then we didn't really get to enjoy it hardly at all. We had the lights, on some. Well, then when we came back from our trip, the tree looked about like it did when we left. But then a day after that, the tree just drooped over, and it started looking so bad. My husband didn't want to take the tree down because he said, we really need to have a tree for Christmas, even though said tree was dead and it looked absolutely horrible. We kept it up until Christmas, did not turn it on. We kept the lights unplugged because we were afraid that the thing would catch on fire. So we did have my daughter open up her presents. We were going to do it by the tree, but I'm like, I don't even want this tree in a photo. So we could have just taken the tree down. But we decided yesterday that we were going to take the tree down. I was just done. And so we took it down. I even thought about taking it down on Christmas. And my husband said, no, we're not taking the tree down on Christmas. Let's just wait until Monday. So we took the tree down. I didn't realize how bad that it really looked until after everything was off of it. And then my husband took it outside, and I looked at it outside, and like, this tree looks even worse than what I thought it did. And we took a picture of my husband standing next to the tree. I'm going to do a story to put in our December memory album that I call December Daily. And I'm going to tell a story about this tree because I think it's really important that that story be in there. And once I decided to take the tree down, I thought there's not any point in having decorations and things up because the tree is now gone. And so I just spent the time yesterday getting all of the ornaments, put up. I put them up in a certain way. I did that, and then got all of the other decorations that I had laying around, and I got all of those put up, got those boxed up in the containers, and then my husband is going to put those back up in the attic. And I started getting the house back in order yesterday. So Christmas is now officially over in our house. I like to keep some of the decorations out for just a little bit, like till the end of December. But I thought if I'm taking the tree down, I might as well just go ahead and do all of it and get all of this just put up. And so I'm glad that I did. So that is done. I don't have to do that over the weekend. But now I need to get my house cleaned up because it's hard to clean with everything around. As far as diamond painting goes, this is going to be my best month ever on finishes. And this is not just the best month for this year, but for any year. I never have this many finishes in 1 month since I had been diamond painting in late 2020. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm hoping that if I get this one finished, then it's going to be even better. But if I don't get this finished, it's okay. I am fine with it. I have even worked a lot on my diamond painting from Germany, the diamond painting Deutschland. And that one is Diana. And I am getting closer to finishing that one. It is looking so pretty. I have spent the majority of the time when I've been diamond painting working on her, and then I decided I'm going to take a break because I love working on that one. It is really confetti heavy, so after a while I have to take a break and work on something else, and decided that I'm going to work on this one. And then when I started looking at what I had left and how much time that I still have, there is a possibility that I can get this one finished because this one is a lot of color blocking. I can use my multi-placer, which I haven't used my multi-placer that much on this WiP and Chat, but I use my multi-placer when I am diamond painting, not being on camera. And I've gotten a lot of this done already. So I think there's a possibility that I could finish this. And that would be really nice because that way I'd be going into next year with just 2 WiPs. And I will get Diana finished by the end of January. I wanted to have that one finished really by the end of this year. That one's been hanging on for a long time. But if I don't get it finished, then that's okay. I really didn't have any goals for this year, but I am going to have some for next year. This year, my main goal was to start a channel and to work on that, which I did, and I met that goal. I wanted to have I was hoping to have at least 500 subscribers by my anniversary date, and that's not until the end of February, so I have well exceeded that, which was very nice. And I really do appreciate all of you. I could not have done this channel without such wonderful support that I have from all of you. I really, really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. So I am going to have goals next year. I will have another video that is going to have just my goals. I thought about adding my goals to my WiP and chat, but decided not to, but that should be a video on its own. So I will do that. That's coming up. So I do have some other videos that I am working on that you will be seeing this week. I'm trying to get back to my regular schedule this week of recording, and that's 4 videos a week. If I have more content, then I can obviously do more, but definitely getting back to my 4 a week. So you will be seeing some videos this week on my finishes. I also want to do my end of month. I have a end of year that will be coming up, but that's not until next week. I want to gather all of my WiPs. I have them all together, or my finishes. I have them all upstairs. I just need to get them down into my craft room. I may end up doing that in the dining room just to make it easier and easier to see, because some of the ones I did are larger. So that's one thing that's coming up. And I'm also going to do videos on my stash, because I want to have a stash video. I'm going to do it as of, you know, the end, whatever I've received as of the end of the month, because that's part of my goal, is to be able to do quite a few that's in my stash. And I'll be showing those. That will be over several days, several videos. There's no way I can do it in one. We would be here forever. Let's see, I've gotten a lot done on this one. I really am enjoying this kit. It is my first Dreamer Designs. I have purchased several Dreamer Designs, but I've never gotten around to working on them. This is my first one, and I'm so glad that I chose this one as my first, because it's been so much fun. I love the colors, and even though I'm more of a seasonal diamond painter, but I wanted to go ahead and get this done to get it out of my stash, because it's been, you know, sitting there since October and, you know, as partially completed. So I want to go ahead and get as much of this done as I possibly could. And I think I've gotten quite a bit done. Thanks so much for spending time with me today, especially after Christmas, if you're listening shortly after. And I know that there's always, you know, things that have to be done, going back to work and, you know, that fun stuff. But I appreciate you spending time with me while I diamond paint and chat. And if you were working on something, I hope that you were able to get something completed, or, you know, get good progress towards completion. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't want to comment, put an emoji, a winter emoji, whether it is a holiday emoji or snowflake. Put that down underneath the comments so I know that you were, you know, I know that there are several that were listening and that you enjoyed the video. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. I think that you would like it here. And I do have more content coming out, as I mentioned. If you have missed the playlist for Countdown to Christmas, I will put that up at the top of the eye. And until next time, keep on diamond painting. Thanks so much. Bye.